All right, good morning everybody. So Kiowa here is with me again. This morning we're gonna be making carnitas and we're gonna be using a crock pot today. So crock pot is an awesome kitchen tool. It allows you to just put everything in the pot and then leave it cooking for a few hours, and then you can come back and it's done. All you gotta do is shred it up. So crock pots are super great if you're super busy and you just need to put something together, leave it, and then have it ready for you when you get home. So we were gonna do jackfruit carnitas today. Jackfruit is a big, ugly, bumpy fruit, but it is a great protein alternative, especially for shredded meats. If you get it when it's not ripe, it won't be sweet like a fruit. It'll kind of have a bland flavor, which can make it taste like meat. Good job, Kiowa. So we got our pork shoulder in there, or pork butt. Thank you. Unfortunately, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I saw jackfruit last week and it wasn't there yesterday, so we're doing pork today. Okay, so we have our pork in there now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add those onions, the shredded onions, all that. Yep, we're gonna throw it in there with the pork. So just throw it in there. Kind of, yeah, spread them out, lay them all over. So we just sliced up about half a yellow onion. And then we're gonna add that diced garlic.
This one?
So the garlic is that one right there, yeah. So garlic, as I've talked before, is a very heart-healthy ingredient. It has anti-cancer, anti-inflammation properties. It's related to lowering cholesterol levels. So I always like to add extra garlic. The recipe called for 3 cloves. I always add a little extra. And I'm using the same exact recipe that I would have used for the jackfruit. Just substituted pork instead. So you could pretty much do any hunk of meat like this with the same seasonings and flavor. If you don't want to do pork, or if you don't want to do jackfruit, you could do other ones. Okay, so now we are going to we're going to squeeze these fruits. And we don't want to get the seeds in there. So I usually just hold my hand over it. Just squeeze it. In case any seeds come out, they go into the palm of my hand. All right, and we're gonna do the same exact thing with the orange. So I can toss that.
I don't know.
So we're doing lime juice and orange juice. These citrus fruits are going to add some good flavor. Acidity also kind of helps break things down a little bit too. But these citrus fruits are really great sources of vitamin C, vitamin A. So those will help our immune system stay healthy, our skin stay healthy, our eyes stay healthy. And they taste good too. Good job, Kiowa. Get it all squished up in there. Okay, and then we just have to add broth and some seasonings, and then we'll just set it to cook.
This one?
So I just have some low sodium beef broth. You could use vegetable or chicken broth, whatever you prefer. I choose the low sodium ones because broth can add a lot of salt or sodium to your food. Most people eat way too much salt or sodium, which puts us at higher risk for high blood pressure and heart disease. So we want to try and keep our sodium or salt consumption low. So we're just going to do half, okay? So about that much. So you want to pour in about half. It's pretty good. We can always add more if we need to. Okay, so now the spices. So I have a teaspoon right here. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. I think it's this way. Oh, whoopsie, did you peel? Oh well, that's okay. It'll still work. So 1 teaspoon, fill that thing all the way up. Good job. All right, so that's good for the salt. We'll do 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Perfect. And we'll do 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. Nice. We'll do 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Perfect. It's okay. 1 teaspoon of paprika. And then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, or you can just use oregano. Good job. So Kiowa is doing a little bit extra for her teaspoons, and that is a-okay with me. It'll add a little more flavor. Spices are kind of just whatever you prefer, really. You can add or subtract based on your preferences.
And then this one.
Yep, so we gotta do this one, the Italian seasoning. Perfect. Alright, so I'm just kind of mixing this up a little bit. I'm gonna set it on low. So we're gonna actually, or should we do it high? Well, if we do it high, it'll take less time. So we'll keep it on high, because if we did it on low, it would take 6 hours. We want this done by lunchtime. So we're gonna do it on high for about 3 to 4 hours. All right, so we just stick the lid on and then you wait till it's done. Easy peasy.
This one.
All right, so now we're gonna do our guacamole and our corn salsa. We're also gonna make some black beans. We're just gonna heat those up in the pot. So to start off, I'm gonna dice this cilantro. Cilantro also has a lot of anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer properties. It's the leaf kind of part of the plant. And actually the seed of a cilantro plant is actually considered coriander, another spice. So coriander and cilantro are related to each other. They come from the same plant, they're just different parts. And so we'll split that kind of between the corn salsa and the guacamole. They'll both get a little cilantro. And you can always buy dried cilantro too. I just think that the fresh herb has a stronger flavor. So there's definitely an option too. You can get in the spice aisle some dried cilantro if you prefer to do it that way. Okay, and then we're gonna do some more garlic. You wanna try and do the garlic this time? Okay. So garlic is kind of like onion. It has all this like skin stuff on it that you have to peel off. And it comes in a bowl. It's actually super fun to grow and plant too. You just stick one of these guys straight into the ground and it'll grow. Okay, so for garlic, one way to get this like skin stuff off is you gotta smack it. So I just stick my knife on it and I smack it down. I usually cut off that little hard part on the end and discard that part. But then once you get it, you can slice it up nice and fine. So you want it to be really small, even smaller than that, but I'll let you do the rest, okay? Okay, that looks pretty good. So now I want you to dice up these tomatoes into little chunks, okay? Like little chunks, like that big, Kyle, okay?
That big?
Yeah, little chunks.
Over here.
I'm gonna drain and rinse the corn. I got no salt added, but always drain and rinse it to get as much sodium off as you can. Wrap the cilantro in this bowl for the guacamole. And half in the other one. So, next we're gonna, do you want me to do the onion? Because you don't like to do the
I
onion?
did that yesterday.
Okay, so we're gonna do onion, but I want it really, really finely diced, okay? So I'll show you. I already peeled it.
Wow.
So I'll show you what I wanna see. So if you cut off a piece, you cut it in half. I want it really small. Really, really small. See how small that is? Okay. A little red onion in here for our guacamole. And then we're gonna put a little bit in this corn salsa too. We have all the colors on our plate today. I like to chop up the red onion really small just because it has a pretty strong flavor. Not everyone likes the flavor of raw red onion. So if you cut it up smaller, it makes it less potent and overwhelming. If you really like the taste of raw red onion, you can cut it up much bigger. I was hoping I'm going to show what our salsa looks like so far on camera. So we got a lot of colors in here. We got purple, we got red, green, yellow. So this is going to be our corn salsa, and we want to see all those colors when we're cooking food or making a dish, because eating fruits and vegetables and foods that are all different colors, that means you're getting all different vitamins and minerals, which is really great. That's why we say eat the rainbow, because it ensures that you're getting all different good nutrients. I'll do these jalapenos real quick while you're recuperating. So we're going to do the big jalapeno in our corn salsa, and then we're going to do the smaller one in with our guacamole. So jalapenos are one of the spicier peppers, although we've done spicier here. We did serrano a couple weeks ago. A tip for reducing the spice level of these peppers is to remove the seeds. The seeds are where a lot of that capsaicin chemical is. That's the chemical in peppers that make them spicy. So if you remove the seeds, you reduce the spice level. But if you really like the spice, keep the seeds in there. You can eat them, and it'll make your food spicier. So I'm just going to dice this up really finely. That goes with the guacamole. Okay, so avocados. These are awesome vegetables too. Avocados have a high fat content, but it's omega-3 fatty acids. It's heart healthy fats that we need, that keep our skin and our bodies healthy and our heart healthy. So getting enough omega-3s can reduce your risk of heart disease. Make sure your blood pressure is healthy, cholesterol levels are healthy. So I just slice it in half, I remove that pit, and then I just kind of dice it within the peel, and I just use a spoon to scoop it out. And that makes it easier to mash up, because if you try and remove it out of the peel and slice it, it just is, it gets a little slippery. So I find this a little bit easier. So once we're done with the salsas, we got guacamole, we got corn salsa, we have corn tortillas that we're going to use with our carnitas today. Corn tortillas, so corn is a whole grain, meaning it has a good amount of fiber. And I think corn tortillas are nice because they're a little lighter, especially for diabetics. So even just looking at this food package, 2 tortillas is 22 grams of carbs, so that's just about 2 carb choices. And it has 2 grams of fiber, which is pretty good. You could also do whole wheat tortillas, get that fiber too. But we're going to be getting a lot of fiber through this meal.
This one too?
Yep, all of them. We're going to be getting a lot of fiber in this meal from the fruits and vegetables, from the whole grains. We're doing black beans as well as a side. Those will have good fiber. And fiber is great because it helps you stay full for longer after you eat. Whoa, you sliced right through the pit. And fiber can also have lower cholesterol levels. So it's also great for heart health. So yeah, we're getting fruits and vegetables in. We're getting whole grains in. We have a little bit of cheese to put on top. So that'll be from the dairy group. And then we have protein from the beans and from the pulled pork or the carnitas. So we're getting pretty much every single food group in with this meal, which is awesome. So sometimes it makes it easier. These ones might be a little bit hard. I tried to pick the soft ones, so that's the key with avocados when you pick them. You want the darker ones, and you want them to be like a little squishy so they give a little bit when you squeeze them. That way you know that they're good and ripe. But if you get them a little hard, just leave them sitting out on your counter for a couple days and they'll get soft really fast. Or you can stick them next to apples, because apples emit a type of gas that ripens fruit, so that can also help ripen it up for you. But yeah, avocados, they had I think it was like 2 for $3 at Super One, and I picked them up yesterday. Oh, and I also, when I was reading about avocados, because they're indigenous to like Central and South America, I was just reading a story about how they talked about the first avocado was eaten by a Mayan princess. And let me see what they said about it. I can't remember exactly. Oh, and the avocados were thought to have mystical and magical power. So, to the Mayans. So we want all of our avocado mashed up so it's nice and creamy. And then the last thing we have to add is just the lime juice. And the lime juice will help the acidity will help the avocado from like going brown. It probably still will go brown if, for example, if you kept it in your fridge. But you can always just scrape off the brown part and then still eat the avocado throughout the week. But the acidity definitely helps with reducing the browning. I'll do the corn salsa. We'll get a little lime juice too. So we're using a lot of ingredients that are indigenous to like Mexico or Central and South America. Corn is as well. It comes from a plant called teosinte, or I think I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, teosinte. But yeah, that's native to Mexico. Corn, like I said, has good fiber. Also has good B vitamins, which ensures that we can digest our food. Then our brains and our central nervous system form correctly. All good things. So this is what our guacamole looks like. Kiowa did a great job mixing that up for us. Yeah, we just have to wait a couple of more hours and the pork will be done.
Hi.
Hi!
Hi. I'm here.
We're back! So, we're just finishing up our final product. So we got our pork in here. It's all shredded. In this pot, I just sauteed the rest of that diced red onion, put a little salt and onion powder, garlic powder, and then I put the black beans in there. So those are just staying hot. And then I'll just do a plate for Kiowa real quick and show you guys what it looks like. So we got corn tortillas. Do some carnitas meat. Okay, you want everything, Kiowa?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do our corn salsa. We got a little bit of guacamole. these over on this side. And do you want cheese and the Greek yogurt that I use like sour cream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone.
All of it.
The hair
Some cheese on there. A spoonful of sour cream, or Greek yogurt, I should say. How about that? All right, let's take a picture of it and show it to the camera.
But I do it.
Our final product. It looks delicious.
Hi.
Good job, Kiowa.
Yay!